Let me ask you a question. What would be possible for you if you could stop doing all of those manual tasks and your business ran on autopilot? In this interview series, I talked to some pretty amazing women about how they run and automate their businesses. So if putting your business on autopilot is of interest to you, then stick around and let's get into it. Welcome. My name is Jacqui Money. I live in a tiny off-grid tiny house in South Africa. I'm building a food forest. I've got 5 beautiful big dogs and a husband named Warren, who's even more introverted than I am. And I love helping women run and scale big businesses with tiny teams and custom backend systems. That's what I absolutely love doing. I believe everything can be simpler and easier and tinier so that we can all live bigger, better lives. And today I have the amazing Sarah Masci joining me. She's my friend and mentor, and Sarah is the CEO and founder of Day Rate Mastery, an online company that teaches creative service providers how to work less and make more with a streamlined day rate or VIP day business model. Years of running a traditional design business filled with scope creep, inconsistent timelines, overlapping client projects eventually resulted in classic burnout, becoming the catalyst that sparked Sarah's desire to create a better process. Since its inception in 2019, Day Rate Mastery has helped thousands of freelancers rediscover joy in their work and freedom they'd lost along the way. Welcome, Sarah. I'm so happy that you're here.
Yes. Hi, Jacqui. I am so happy to be here and have been looking forward to this conversation since we planned it.
Yes, me too. So I know I alluded a little bit in my introduction, but share your journey from where you started to what brought you to VIP days.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of a long journey. My online business journey began in 2005, actually, and it was about 5 or so years of me just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to figure out, what I wanted to do. The whole reason I, started my business was because my 18-year-old son had just been born, so it's been that long, and I knew I wanted to figure out a way to work from home. There was no social media. There was the internet was still kind of new back in 2005. And the opportunities that we have today did not exist back then. So I was just kind of trying to figure something out. And so I did a whole bunch of different things, from having an online, like an e-commerce store, to I was selling on eBay, and I had an Etsy business. I had a PR business. Like, I had all of these little things. And I kept starting businesses and then starting new businesses. And what I realized about 5 years in was the reason I kept starting over was because what I enjoyed more than anything was the process of bringing a brand and a business to life. And so I loved the creation of the brand and the evolution. And so I would design the logo and pick the colors and set up the website. And then I would get going with the business. And I was like, well, this is boring. I just want to build more brands. And so eventually I was like, duh, like I need to be doing that for other people. And so it was around 2010 that I really discovered my passion and my skill, my talent for branding and web design. So that was in 2010. And I did that all the way up till until just about a year ago is really when I kind of hung up my designer hat. But as you know, from just knowing each other, I think we met in 2016, maybe. But what happened was I just, kept taking on more and more and more clients. I was loving the work that I was doing, but I had very bad boundaries. I was people pleasing all the time. I was undercharging, over delivering, doing all of that. And like you said in the intro, it really just resulted in burnout. I was working way too much and not charging enough. And I knew I needed to figure out a better solution. And so that's when the day rate model came to me in 2018. Actually, I think that's when we met. We didn't meet in 2016. We met right around the time I started doing day rates. But I was like, let me see if I can charge premium prices and compress all of my work into a more of a 1 or 2 day model so that I'm not working 7 days a week and constantly chasing deadlines and chasing clients. And so that was in 2018. It was life-changing for me and my design business. And I just continued to kind of scale my design business doing that for a few more years. And then it was actually in 2019 that I started teaching that model because I had so many people asking me how I was doing it. And so, yeah, I started teaching in 2019 and then continued to do design and teaching for a couple of years. And then as of time of this recording in 2023, I am now just the CEO and the main program director of all of our day rate and VIP day courses and programs in the company.
I love that. I love your journey. I love your journey. Even though I've been part of it for some of it, I don't get tired of hearing your story, actually. Yeah. So what does your business look like today? What are you doing day to day, and what does that look like?
So my main focus right now in the company is obviously being the visionary and coming up with all of the new ideas and the plans for growth, every quarter. But also I'm doing pretty much like all of the marketing in the company and the delivery of our courses. So I spend a lot of time interacting with our teaching, hosting calls, hosting workshops, all of that kind of stuff. So I love the delivery aspect and helping all of our students achieve the same results with this model that I was able to do, and that we've helped, so many, like hundreds and actually thousands at this point, other students achieve. So my number one goal is to just continue to serve and help more students reach that freedom in their life because of this business model. And then on the flip side, I've just always been very good at marketing. And so I always have a lot of strategic ideas and ways that we can grow the company. So I really kind of manage that whole side of the business as well.
I love that. And I love that you mentioned freedom, because it's kind of like what I do with the systems and the automations is I want to give clients back their freedom by having systems and automations in place so that they don't have to work all the time.
Exactly.
Yes. So we kind of want the same outcome for me, for my clients, and you for your students. My first question, and one that I ask all my guests, is my clients have me automate a lot of things, from email follow-up to automated interview systems in Airtable. So I'm curious, what is the first thing you remember automating in your business?
Yes. So I remember it was probably back in 2014 or 2015 when someone introduced me to 17 hats. Now, they're not as popular anymore. I don't know if you've ever even had a chance to work with 17 hats, but that was kind of before the Dubsado and the Honeybook and all of those all-in-one solutions came around. But 17 Hats was the all-in-one solution for service providers who were sending out contracts and invoices and proposals. And so I got 17 hats on recommendation from my business coach. Actually, it was 2015. And I automated my contract. And so I was so excited that I could send a proposal, and when they agreed to the proposal, there was a button that they clicked and it automatically sent them a contract that they could sign. And then once they signed it and they submitted it, it automatically sent them their first invoice for payment. And I loved this because the contracts was no big deal, sending out a contract, but requesting payments and invoicing my clients was always a struggle for me because, like I said, I was going all the time. I had clients 7 days a week, and at any given time I had 7 or 8 projects going on, plus retainer clients, plus maintenance clients. And it was a job. It was like a full-time job to remember to send invoices out. So 17 Hats automated the entire billing process for me. And that was a game changer for me.
Yes, I can imagine that is amazing. If you don't have to do that whole admin piece, that could probably take you an hour a week, maybe even more.
at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
So
to
that's
mention the time, not to mention the time that you spend chasing late payments. So it was not only sending an invoice, but it was also sending out reminder emails if they weren't paying it. I think I had to go in and click a button like that it was late, and it would automatically send out a reminder, and it made me not feel like the bad guy because you could tell it was coming from 17 hats and not me. And so that was really nice to not feel like I wasn't creating any friction between my clients when I had to send out those reminders.
I love it. I love it. And so tell me, did you do this yourself? Did you set all this up yourself, or did you actually hire someone to do it? Did you go in and learn how to do it?
Yes, I set the whole thing up myself. It was pretty straightforward. I mean, there was a little bit of a learning curve. So yes, I did set it up myself and it was working great. I didn't love the interface and what everything looked like. And so it was right around that time that Dubsado came out, and someone said, oh, well, Dubsado, you should try Dubsado. It does all of that and more. And it's specially made for designers and it's so beautiful. And so I actually I kept my 17 hats and I went and I created a Dubsado account to try to replicate what I was doing. And the user experience was like night and day. So I had a much easier time setting up 17 hats than Dubsado. So eventually I just stopped using. I never really made the switch.
Yeah. And are you currently still using 17 hats?
No, because then that was all pre-VIP days. Once I started doing VIP days, my entire process changed and I no longer needed any of that. I no longer needed contracts or proposals or payment plans or retainer client. Like my whole business changed. And so I had no need for that 17 hats plan anymore.
Absolutely amazing. So freeing.
Yes. Yes. And I'm happy to talk. I know we were going to talk about our current automations, but I'm happy to talk about why I no longer needed that and kind of what I switched over to.
Please tell us, please.
Yeah, so I don't know. So what happened was I started doing the VIP days, and because every client paid the same amount and they were paying me for a day of time as opposed to a set of deliverables, proposals were no longer necessary. So I got rid of those. And payment plans, I no longer had monthly maintenance clients or monthly retainer clients. So I didn't need those anymore. And projects also went away because I was just doing single 1-day intensives. So I no longer needed all of that, those reminder emails, like all of that was just gone. And so what I did need in my new business model was a very streamlined process that would give people the ability to choose the day that they wanted for their VIP day, agree to my VIP day terms and conditions, and pay. Those were the only 3 things I really needed done. And so I ended up landing on Acuity scheduling, and I was able to develop like the system so that they could do all of those things all within Acuity. And so I was able to cancel 17 hats. I no longer needed it. I just had Acuity. It was cheaper, it saved me money, and it was also so simple for my clients to just go onto my calendar, choose their date, fill out everything I needed, agree to our contract, pay the bill. And then from there, I was also able to automate all of the reminder emails and everything that we needed to send for the VIP days. So yeah, I just no longer needed that original 17 hats anymore. And I hated having to cancel it because all of the contracts and payments and reports were living in there from many years of work. And so I was worried about losing all of that. So I think I had to download a zip file to save everything. But yeah, it was very freeing to cancel that account.
Yeah. And I love that you mentioned Acuity because it's my favorite as well. In fact, I've literally just recorded a video about the 10 reasons why I love Acuity. So I'll link it somewhere in this video. So a lot of the clients that I work with have me create Airtable or ClickUp systems and automation. They have me automate email, their scheduling, their social media, their client management. So I'm curious, what are your 3 favorite automations currently?
Okay, well, we just talked about my first favorite one. So definitely the VIP day automation. I kind of look at this as almost like our proprietary special little system, because it's just so simple. And once you get in and you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so simple. But when you haven't seen it, it's like so hard to understand. But yes, that is my favorite because it was life changing for me to be able to do that and automate everything. But also because we're now teaching this method to all of our students, and it's like, life changing for them as well. So I love that. Like, the thing that I created for my own business is now serving thousands of students across the world. So that's my first one. My second favorite is, well, it's like kind of a cluster of them, but I love my course sales funnels. So these are automated emails. Well, it kind of connects everything from my opt-in page to my email service provider, and it's basically collecting emails and nurturing them through, and all about email automations and nurture sequences. So I love those, but my favorite one is really my Launch Your VIP Day workshop one, because it ensures, so people, when they buy our workshop, which is just our low ticket on demand workshop, when they buy our workshop, this automation ensures that they get what they need, but also not only are we delivering the content one day at a time. So like this, we like to kind of stagger the content over 4 days. So they get that content 4 days in a row, but then we're also nurturing them through the process over like an additional week. And so that's great because they're getting what they signed up for and they're being nurtured. And the best is when a lot of them automatically, they go through that funnel and then they automatically decide that they want to join our higher level signature program. And they have the link to buy it, and they do everything they need to do to sign up. And we, didn't have to actually be there talking to them. So that funnel is running all the time, and we can have people joining our program, joining our workshop, 7 days a week without us actually having to be there and present and all of that. So I love that one. And then my last one is actually a really simple one. And this one, so for many, many years, we used Thrive Checkout. And I had Thrivecart sending payment notifications to my email. Every time someone would buy something or a payment was made, I would get an email. And with a low ticket offer that was selling pretty quickly, you can imagine, like, I was getting all these emails and then getting payment plan notifications on top of that. So I was getting lots of emails every day, and my inbox was always like just out of control. And I love getting notified that I made money, but I hated the fact that I had to delete and clean out every single day. And so we set up the Zapier integration that now sends a Slack notice that we've received money. And so I still get notified, but it's not going into my inbox. It's not cluttering my inbox. I don't have to delete anything. I just see, oh, good, we sold something and it's exciting. And my inbox is nice and clean and no longer like full of Thrivecart emails. So that's really my third one. It's just a simple Zap integration.
I love that. I love that that 3 automations that you are your favorite are the ones that are simplifying.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you hire help with these current automate as opposed to in the beginning when you did it yourself?
So yeah, the original, like the VIP day booking automation, all of that I set up myself, and I consider myself pretty techie. I can pretty much figure anything out if I want to, or if I have the time to do so. My course funnels, I would say I've set them all up initially, but now I actually have someone on my team who helps with keeping them up and running and managing them and making sure that they are not breaking or doing anything. But yeah, like I know how to set it all up, but I'm just at a point in my business now where I don't necessarily have the time to continue to maintain them.
Yeah, I agree. At some point, you have to divorce yourself and make your priority that piece of the business that is only you can do.
Right.
And then
right.
anybody else who's an expert at, say, while you are very proficient at automations, maybe it's not your zone of genius really. So having somebody else on your team helping you with that is actually a smart way of using your time and your money.
Yeah, and it was hard for me to go from the person who knows how to do and can do almost everything in my business to delegating that. But the time that it has freed up for me to allow me to focus on the thing that I and only I can do, which is delivering the program to our students, but then also my like second zone of genius, which is marketing. Like I know that I need to be in the marketing role, and it can't be over in operations. I can't be at my highest and most efficient self in marketing if I'm sitting there fiddling inside of automations and trying to fix those things when I know that my time is better spent doing the other tasks that I'm just better at. So I think it's really important for people to understand, like, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it, and really figuring out what is your zone of genius and your zone of excellence and stay in those zones. And I don't know what the two zones are below them. There's two other ones, but like the one that's like, yeah, I know how to do it, but somebody else will do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. So I want to wrap up this interview on a high and tell the audience, what is your bigger vision for your company so that we can cheer you on?
Yeah, so this year, our vision is we're not looking to necessarily grow beyond where we're at right now as far as programs and products, but we are looking to optimize with automations and with systems. We really are looking to optimize everything that we have running so that we can continue to serve our clients and our students at the highest level. We don't want to get buried in all of the tech and all of the back end stuff. Like we want to be, serving and helping our students and making sure that all of our students can achieve what they've set out to achieve within our program. So really just optimizing everything so that we can be bringing students through and helping them master VIP days, day rates, and intensives, and sending them on their way, and really just kind of like maintaining what we've already become known for, which is excellence in the VIP day model, just maintaining it and really just like maintaining our reputation and just building kind of the best program there is out there.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And such an important decision to make. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to pop all your links below, wherever I can pop links. And if anybody wants to reach out to Sarah or is curious about day rates, please contact her on any of her links. She's very available to you to chat more about VIP days and how you can leverage VIP days in your own business. So thank you so much for being here, Sarah.
Thanks, Jackie.
Let me know in the comments below if you had a magic wand and could automate the part of your business where you are spending the most time, what would that be? If you want to check out more videos like this, where I talk about how to put your business on autopilot so that you're not working more hours or hiring a huge team, be sure to subscribe to this channel and I will see you in the next video.